Hey everyone, and welcome back for another video. My name is Bree and thank you so much for stopping by my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing a really easy paper pattern sewing hack. So if you're anything like me, when those patterns go on sale at your local big box craft store, you'll go and you'll buy a whole bunch of them. Maybe you make some patterns, you find one that you really like that you know you're going to use over and over again. Well, as I'm sure you all know, those tissue paper patterns can be challenging to use. They tear really easily and they don't always hold up to multiple uses. So today I'm going to share a quick little sewing hack with you that's going to preserve that pattern for years to come. So let's go ahead and jump into the hack. So to get started with our sewing pattern hack, you're going to need your iron, the pattern that you're going to be modifying, a pair of paper scissors or scissors that you use specifically for pattern cutting, and freezer paper. Start by turning your iron on to a medium setting and turning the steam off. Next, grab your sewing pattern and flip it over to the back side. Locate the size of the pattern that you're going to be cutting out. Remove your paper pattern from the envelope as well as the instructions. Gently unfold that delicate tissue paper pattern and lay it flat on a cutting surface. Once you have it pressed out with your hands, you're going to take that iron, again with the steam off, and give it a little press. Once you've finished pressing out your pattern with your iron, it's time to grab your paper scissors and cut out the size pattern that you need for your measurements. So here I'm just going to trim away the extra pattern pieces so I can focus on one piece at a time. So for this hack, you're going to be needing a roll of freezer paper. Make sure that you're using freezer paper and not wax paper. Freezer paper is paper on one side and it's waxed paper on the other, and this is what you're going to need. So start by taking that roll of freezer paper and unroll it to about the width of the pattern piece that you're going to be doing first. Lay your pattern piece on top of that paper and cut. So doing small sections at a time is going to prevent a lot of waste. So cut the size of the paper that you're going to need for your pattern piece. Then again, using your iron on a medium heat with no steam, make sure the wax paper side is facing up towards the back side of your pattern. Make sure your pattern is facing the right direction before you begin ironing. Now take your iron and, starting in the middle of your pattern, gently press your tissue paper pattern onto the waxed surface of your freezer paper. Once you have the main part of your pattern ironed down to your freezer paper, you can go ahead and take your scissors and cut out your pattern. Be careful when trimming around your pattern, as some of the edges may not be fully adhered to your freezer paper. Now that your pattern is cut out, go ahead and take that iron again and give it a press along the edges. This is just going to make sure that all the corners and the long edges of your patterns are fully adhered. Now's a great time to go ahead and notch your pattern pieces. So fusing those tissue paper patterns to the back side of the freezer paper is going to make sure these patterns last for years to come. So if fusing tissue paper to the back of freezer paper isn't your jam, let's go ahead and talk about how to repair a ripped tissue paper pattern. Start by taking a small piece of that freezer paper that we used before, and you're going to cut it to size. Gently lay it behind the tear in your tissue paper pattern. Again, using that warm iron on medium heat with no steam, you're going to gently press it out so it sticks to the back of the freezer paper. Trim it up to the appropriate size. Once the excess freezer paper is trimmed from your pattern piece, and give it an iron to make sure it's fully fused. And that's a really simple hack for repairing a ripped pattern. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this really easy paper sewing pattern hack. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I would love for you to stick around, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned because next week I have more sewing hacks coming your way. Bye guys.